Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio, and this is another video for my Mixed Media Pick 10 Facebook group. This one, I am sorry, I don't know what happened with the video. I searched and searched and could not find where I made these circles and put the paper on there, and I might not have recorded it. It could have been leftover paint at some point, but the first step was to add circles, and the second step was to add book text, so that's more dictionary text. And then the third step, where I put those silver flowers, was to add metal. Well, I didn't have any metal, so I used some metallic paint on some deli paper and created those 5-point flowers and glued them on. So now I'm just going through and outlining them so they stand out. This step was add ink, so that's my adding ink. Yeah. And I did decide this one's a hot mess Monday because I lost the first part of the footage, or didn't have the first part of the footage. The next step here is to add affirmations. So I'm just putting positive words around on the page. And then the next step, and this is going fast, but it was a long process. The next step was to add texture paste through a stencil. Now, this isn't technically texture paste, this is like crackling medium, and I've had this for a while. Came in a set that I ordered that was like, oh, I don't even know what to call it. They give you random things. You pay a certain amount and you get stuff. I quit doing it because I didn't use half the stuff I was given. This was from before I started doing the YouTube thing. But so that's crackle paste, and now see, I'm showing you it's dry, and you can see a little bit of crackling and a little bit of reflectiveness on there. So the next step was to stamp into wet gesso. Well, that is black gesso that I am stamping onto my page. So I am stamping into wet gesso and then stamping it onto the page. Technically that works, right? Now the next step was to add stars. And I feel like my page is getting super busy. But I add stars. And then the next step was to add stickers. So I add some stickers, my homemade jelly print label stickers that I've punched in circles. And some of them have flat ends because they are the end of the label, so I'm putting those on the edges so they look like they belong there. Now the next step was to spray through a stencil, and the only sprays I had were ink. Sorry you didn't see that whole thing. And that was step number 10. And so I stopped there because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and I let it sit for a really long time. It's probably been about a month. And that might be why I can't find that footage. I don't know. But I knew I had to put something on here because it was just super busy. I was going to put like one big word, and I thought this was going to be bigger, but it didn't quite end up. I really liked the quote, so I went ahead and did it. And it says, "Good things are going to happen." I thought that went well with the positive affirmations that I had written in the background. And I drew that on with a Sharpie poster paint pen, but because of the ink I used, it doesn't show up very well, and you can see that ink bleeding through, and so I decided to do a couple layers of just acrylic paint to try and get it to stand out a little bit more. So I just keep going. I do go over it several times. You don't see me go over it all the times I go over it. In fact, I think I edit here in a second. It's like, that's enough of that. Boom, see? Okay, so now to make it stand out even more, I'm going around with a pen. Now this is my Uniball Air pen, and it makes it through maybe 1.5 words. And the texture on this thing, with everything that's been put on it, is really tough to get a smooth, straight line. It was basically a hot mess. I think that's another reason why this qualifies for the Hot Mess Monday. This thing was crazy. That's where I'm like trying to get that pen to work. I tried finding my food ball. I do finally find my food ball, and then I move on with that because it just, I don't know what it is with that pen, the food ball pen, but it just goes over all the crazy medium, all the different things better than any other pen I've tried. It was still hard going over all the textures that are on there. And when we get to the end, I'll show you some angles so you can kind of see what it looks like close up. And once I get that done, I still feel like the background is way busy. So just taking a little bit of Payne's Gray in the craft paint and just trying to shade around the letters a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier, help those letters pop out, kind of push the background to the background. I think it helps a little bit. I'm doing it quite wet because I don't want it like totally black. I did speed this up quite a bit, but you can always fast forward to the end if you just want to see the close-ups. After I get this lettering painted, I think we're about... Oh no, I put a border on too. But we're getting close to the end. And then I decide I want to darken the edges. So I'm just taking that same color, putting a little bit along the top edge, adding a little water, and kind of shading it out so that it fades. So you get the dark edge and then fades into the picture a little bit. And I just think it gives it a little bit more finished look to it. Alright, and here you go. Can you see all that texture on there? There's a lot of bumps to go around. It kind of looks cool close up. It's just so busy from a distance. But I hope you did like that. I hope it gives you some ideas. If you did like it, please hit like. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.